14 minutes after 7 o'clock. Neighbor, oi, oi, oi. Bring out the ham. This morning, we welcome Chef Quinn Peters, who is the host of Made with Love, a brand new cooking series that's launching in January right here on TTT. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Where's the food?
What had happened was...
What had happened was...
Notice there's no warm welcome for you.
We started cold. We cold this morning.
Don't worry.
Where is the love?
Don't worry. When it starts in January and we do these segments and stuff, I would personally drop it here after we cook every segment.
I just want you to realize that we're on live TV and they record
and
this. And not just record it, right? They put it up on YouTube now, right? So everybody will be able to check back and see what you say.
Yeah, no problem.
When you do come back in January, if you do come back in January.
That show going to be a very, very different show.
All right, tell us about it. What's different about it?
Okay, so as you know, every cooking show that you see, they have some sort of international culinary jargons, stuff used. But this cooking show is going to be very Trini. We're talking about Trini as in using a normal pot, using, somewhere to connect with Trini people.
Like you're cooking by the river?
Exactly.
Right.
And it's going to be very entertaining.
Okay.
And funny as well, Well, it started on social media first, and I wasn't even expecting to do a cooking show. It's just that Tringlobe Media, the owner contacted me, say, Quinn, but look how your food going viral, but look how much people sharing your episodes. Why don't just do a cooking show, right? Because I used to do cooking tips.
Right.
And we ended up doing a cooking show through the pandemic where all the restaurants was closed.
Right.
Nobody know to make a proper burger. Nobody know to make a Alfredo and stuff. And
Wow. Hitting people for six.
Nobody know to make up a
well, most people.
The disrespect.
So you said, let me save the day, and then you went viral.
Yeah, and then we...
All right, let me just backtrack a little bit. How long now you're cooking? And how long would you say you're even a chef?
You will not believe. Okay, so I did a degree in hotel school.
Okay.
Right. I did culinary, I did food and beverage management and stuff like that. So I'm a little certified.
A little?
But yeah, a little certified. So I'm cooking like about 3 or 4 years now. And to be honest, actively cooking like about 2 years.
Okay.
So when you say actively cooking...
Meaning that I could have cooked,
right,
but I was not cooking because my mom used to do most of the cooking. She used to like, you relax, I cooking.
She likes space, that kind of thing.
And then I was move out with my girlfriend and she used to cook and stuff like that. But
now, big chef like you and you have all this woman cooking for you?
Yeah, well, you see,
pretty much.
I didn't like, to be quite honest with you, I did not like to cook, but I could have.
Right.
But when I started to live on my own in Princeton,
You had to.
I had to.
Yep.
And then I like attention, and when I get another attention, I was like, wait now. My food actually tasting good and people actually like sharing it around.
I can't vouch for that part.
I mean, we will find out in January.
I'm just saying, I can't vouch for that part.
Because, you're the chef that came with
your
no
food tasting good.
Yeah.
But in terms of the types of food that you make, because I totally hear you on being able to cook, but not necessarily enjoying cooking.
Yeah.
What do you like to make most?
I like to cook grilled meats.
Oh.
I love to, as a chef, you like to try different recipes and experiment. And I find with grilled meats, I get to go all out. And in terms of presentation, I don't like to cook normal things and put it up. Everybody know that.
Okay.
I'm very extra.
So what is the not normal things you like to cook?
Like, rice and lentil peas and I like gourmet. I like to cook gourmet. I like to cook really nice grilled meats,
But how you cooking gourmet by the riverside?
Oh, gosh, man.
You have to tune in to find out.
That's what this show about.
So we're going to get gourmet foods in Trini locations,
of course,
essentially.
yes. And the cooking show, we're going to mix it up. But it's going to be a different cooking show. So this is where we are going to different restaurants worldwide and get an episode with the restaurants, with the chef actually making something. Okay, this is so. This is how we prepare garnish, and this is our most popular meal. Yeah. So it's a good way for restaurants to advertise as well. Companies that have their cooking products, big companies, small companies, no matter how big or small they are, they can come and advertise on the show and get their food product advertised.
Yeah, and get it placed on the show. And you use it as ingredients, I assume, as well?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Let me ask then, Granted that you came from a place of not enjoying cooking or not wanting to cook, where
Yeah.
did the love come from?
Social media, to be quite honest with
Is
you.
the attention?
Is
more
the
than anything
actually I love
else?
attention, right? So when everything started to go viral, I was like, wait now, you know, I could actually do something with this. Like you still have this.
Sorry.
They can't believe it. I'm telling
Sorry.
you.
No, I
that's
just
how
can't
it
believe you
started.
say it. I can believe it. I just can't believe you say it.
I'm as real as it gets,
Well,
and I'm from Princess Tongue, and
clearly.
this is how we roll.
So I really want you to get from it. We're in Christmas season, right? You are a chef. What tips do you give us for this season in particular?
All right. So you know, a lot of people bake a lot of ham.
Right.
So what I suggest is that what makes a ham flavorful is the type of ham you select.
Okay.
So when you're looking for ham, you would see on the ham either ham alone, ham with natural juices, or ham with water. Always take the ham that's written with natural juices
Right.
because you tend to get a better flavor and texture. Boneless versus bone-in. Which one to choose?
Yeah.
Ham with the bone is really, really more flavorful because when it bakes in the oven, the flavor from the bone imparts into the right. And then to the shoulder part of the ham and the upper leg is the most flavorful because it has something called marbling. It has a lot of fat within the muscle. And because of that marbling, you're going to get a lot of flavor.
Right.
When
So
you're
that's both the upper leg and the shoulder.
yeah, well, boneless, people buy boneless just because it's easier to cut.
Of course.
Yeah.
And it's more like an overshape because they remove the bone, and because of the protein and the salting process, it into overshape.
Yeah.
Right? It still has good flavor depending on which boneless ham you buy. But I would say, you know, take the bone in ham.
Yeah, yeah.
And when you're
Real
baking
cooks have
it,
the bone in
make
ham.
sure you foil it so that the heat can be sustained within.
Okay.
Right? So that it can cook thoroughly and get a proper browning.
And the traditional cloves and pineapples.
When
and,
you are putting the clove, make sure it's at least 1.5 inches apart because clove is something is very dominant in flavor.
Yeah.
So you don't want the ham to be too spicy or too clove.
I know,
What's that?
I listened to you, but I realized in this video we're watching here that we see that you actually you wrap the ham
In the foil.
in the
Correct.
foil rather than just covering the whole tray.
No. You see, I love some of the juices to be within the foil underneath the ham.
Right.
Right? So, it's trust me, ham is simple, but the preparation has to be exquisite if you want that taste.
Yeah.
Right? And your glaze, I use the cinnamon, sugar, and honey glaze, right? Because of that high sugar content, it's going to caramelize a lot. So you only glaze in the ham 20 minutes before it finish. And Trinidad and Tobago, for those of you who don't know how long
He
to
showed
cook
it.
your ham,
He showed
Tell
it.
me,
cook your ham, it's 15 to 20 minutes per
Per
pound.
per pound. So
Yes.
the first thing you need is a scale.
Yes, of course.
You need a scale to measure the weight of your ham.
Oh, when you buy your ham, it usually tells you the
some of
weight
them
as well.
some of them doesn't really have the weight on it all the time. But we see in the glazing process here just now there. So you have sugar, you add honey,
Yeah.
and cinnamon to it.
Right. So
No
the
fruit
last
juices?
no. The last well everyone has their own opinion on how
Yeah, I
they
know,
love
and that's
it.
what- that's what I'm
right?
asking,
So
I'm
the
curious.
last 20 minutes you want to take the ham out uncovered
Right?
and cooking it back uncovered with the glaze. So you put the glaze, the sugar acts as a braisant
Right.
to like braise the ham and get all those sweets. So every cut, and you have to basically, some people don't glaze the fat, and under the fat you have to glaze the whole thing.
So you don't cut off that fat.
No, that's the
That's the
flavor.
flavor.
No,
So-
because no, just now I asked because I know in some recipe books they say you cook it with the fat first, then you cut off the fat and you diamond score it, and then you put the cloves and then that kind of thing. But you saying leave the fat on for the whole
Leave
process.
the fat on for the whole process. That's right.
And it will come out looking so
Listen
moist.
to me.
It's quite moist.
We had a guest on that segment, right? Every bite, she got that cinnamon she got the thyme, the honey, and the sugar.
You didn't mention time. What time come in?
Yes, and
Yeah,
it was part of the
fine.
mix. It was literally in the
In the
video.
video.
Glaze or in the
In the glaze, yeah. So
Yeah.
Just in the
sugar,
glaze.
thyme, and honey.
and cinnamon.
You could add cinnamon or mustard if you want, but
Oh.
I just use those three. I like to keep it
You just
simple.
those three use. I
Yeah.
say you use cinnamon.
So
All right, go ahead.
we're talking recipes, we're talking local things. We know the pineapple thing. I guess it was more of an international thing than a local thing.
Yeah, pineapple is more like a garnish. It's not really for flavor.
Yeah, he's not talking
Yeah,
about
yeah,
pineapple.
You're not
yeah.
talking about pineapple thing.
Yeah.
I had a neighbor once ask me for pineapple jam, and we were like, "Do you mean pineapple slices for your ham?" He's like, "No, pineapple jam."
Mm-hmm.
Any sorts of alternatives, tips or tricks? I know your face. That was me.
Yeah.
That you could give give us in terms of the ham specifically? That glaze, any other options or any other varieties? that would
Well, if you're not feeling to make a glaze, there's glaze you can get in your grocery as you know.
don't seem enthused about that glaze at all.
Make it from scratch. Control your own flavor. You know, every slice that you cut in that ham, make sure you taste the glaze. If you ain't tasting the glaze, you ain't glaze it right.
Make it with love.
Made with love.
No matter how big the ham is?
No matter how big the ham is. And
How
the
you
name
get the glaze to get into the center? Like, you know, like, and this is a serious question because, you know, you take however long you take to cook, right? But sometimes, you put the glaze on and it doesn't get all the way down.
you will not get all the way down. You just want to taste it on every slice. Caramelization is a very serious thing when it comes to cooking, and you need to
Clearly.
know how much to cook it for. That's why for the last 20 minutes is only where we take all the ham, we glaze it, and we put it back in.
And 20 minutes is enough.
It's enough.
It wouldn't turn into stew ham.
No.
All right.
But it's like planting, frying. You can't leave it.
Exactly.
So if you even have a light,
Leave it on.
leave it on and monitor it. Because the first thing that is going to burn is the fat.
Right. Right.
Right? So, and protein is something you don't want to overcook because it coagulates and its chemical and physical structure is
Right.
denatured and it's a permanent alteration that cannot be
Cannot be
reversed.
reversed.
So you have to monitor that.
Are we going to be getting some of these tips inside the show as well?
Of course.
What kind of food you cooking on the show?
Well, we're going to have some Venice and some Spanish.
You cooking Venice?
Listen.
I don't
It
understand.
has some episodes.
What's
We're gonna bring Venice and Colombians and stuff like that and make a Spanish dish, like something like a paella.
Okay.
You know what I'm
So Venezuelans and Colombians giving us a little bit of their culture.
Yeah,
With some Trini vibes.
we touching on each cuisine, right? So we'll go Peruvian, we'll go local, then we'll go France.
Okay.
France, and you wanna bring each type of person
Right.
to test and be like, okay, this is authentic. This is real Mexican food. This is real Venezuelan food.
Well, we would be able to test, but he didn't bring anything for us this morning.
my
So
gosh,
we will
next
wait till
time.
January when we will be
Next
cooking
time.
with love. A new show coming to TTT this January. And we will be seeing you on Made with Love
Of
as
course.
the head chef.
That's correct.
We might not have love for you right now, but we'll have love for you then.
Later, I bet you will.
For now, Quinn, thank you very much for joining us and welcome
you.
to the TTT family.
Yeah, man.
Yes,
Welcome
no
to the
problem.
team.
Thank you very much. It's a
And Merry
pleasure to
Christmas,
be here
all the
this
best,
morning.
and bring some ham when you're coming back. You
Of
can't be
course.
cooking all that waste ham giving it to the guests that was on the show.
You won't believe
pack a
that
little
finished in
something.
10 minutes.
10 minutes? I mean,
It was a
you need
small
bigger
ham, but it was plenty of us.
But he
That
come
done
from
like...
You could have baked it last
Me
night and
understand
bring
why
it
you
this
getting on,
morning.
so
I don't understand,
Treat
guys.
them like shop liver in these streets.
Hey, man,
Ladies and gentlemen, let's take a quick break and we come back with more inside the Now Morning Show. Thank you so much, Quinn, for
Thank you
joining us
very
this
much.
morning. And we look forward to Made with Love happening in
Made with
January
Love.
right here on TTT. Stay tuned.